Hi everyone, this is Jan Rues and welcome to my new channel. This is my first video, so please please excuse it if it's probably going to be bad. But so this channel is going to be all about geopolitics and economics. It's something that I have always followed for the last 15 years. It's a hobby of mine. I really do enjoy it. I feel like what's going on in the world, geopolitics and economics affect all of us. And I watch this stuff all day, every day. And I figured I'll start this channel in order to bring you the updates as it happens, so that you don't have to watch all the videos that I watch. All you have to do is watch a channel like this and you should be able to get all your updates. So if you are interested, please like and subscribe to my channel. And alright, so with that, if you think the world is going to shit, then it's probably because it is. Like I said, I've been following this for the last 15 years, and I'm sure your paycheck's not going as far as it used to. Have you seen the prices of food? Have you seen the prices of living? In America, if you're living in America right now, look, it's bad all over the world. Europe's bad. The UK is bad. Here where I am in South Africa is bad. And in the US, it's starting to become bad with all the tariffs, all the things that Trump is doing. I don't believe that his policies are working, but we will talk more about that later. But today, first of all, I want to tell you the most pressing issue, I believe, is World War III. I believe that we are on the cusp of a nuclear war. 2 days ago, the Russians moved their mobile nuclear weapons in the middle of the night in secret. They moved it away from the location where they usually store it, and that is a sure sign that they believe that there was intelligence to know where those weapons are, and they are actually expecting a first decapitation strike from the West. Trump has now also a couple of days ago have approved NATO to be purchasing long-range missiles in order to send to Ukraine. That was a red line that Putin has said for a long time now. If the West provides Ukraine with long-range weapons that can strike deep inside of Russia, they will see it as an exponential threat. And they actually changed their nuclear doctrine in December of 2024 to allow them to use nuclear weapons as a preemptive strike if they feel like they are in a exponential threat. They are also allowed to use the nuclear weapons against any other nation that is a nuclear nation that provides a proxy nation like Ukraine these weapons. So the Russians are within the law right now in order to do a preemptive strike against the West. Germany especially at the moment, and the UK is in trouble because they're the ones that's pushing hard for this. Germany is going to send long-range missiles to Ukraine very soon, and the UK is also amassing a bunch of troops in order to send to Ukraine. And apparently NATO has got 250,000 troops ready to fight Russia. So this is ridiculous. The Sergei Rafov, one of the advisors to Putin, has actually been advising him to use a preemptive nuclear strike on the West in order to stop this, because they know that something like this is going to happen. Why wait until Moscow is burning in order to fight back against this? It seems like this is all going to be happening around September. Donald Trump has recently given Russia 50 days in order for them to stop the war and come to the negotiation table, which is the Russians have always said that they will negotiate, but they will not back down on what their requirements are. And it seems like the West just does not want that. There's a new guy that's going to be replacing, it looks like going to be I forgot his name. He used to be a general in the Ukraine army. He's been living in the UK for a long time, and he's obviously been trained very well there in order to take over from Zelensky in order to escalate this war. Unfortunately, that's bad news for all of us, because the last thing we need is a nuclear war at the moment. What is that? The 50-day deadline. There's about 41 days left. If Russia doesn't come to the table, then the US is going to sanction all the other countries that's buying oil from Russia in order to cut off Russia's financial finances, because, you know, Russia's mostly making money selling oil to the Chinese, the Brazilians, the Iranians, in order to fund this war. And the Russians might just see that as well as an exponential threat and do a first preemptive strike. So I'm quite worried about that. The other news is gold's going through the roof. The last time that happened was just before the crash of 2008. The same thing with silver. Silver's going through the roof right now as well. The last time that happened was also right before the big financial crisis in 2008. The markets just before 2008, the big crash, was also on a big high, just the way that it is now. So unfortunately, on the economic front, things are not looking good. Because of all the tariffs, I see also that the ports are full of American corn. The Chinese have decided to stop buying from them, so now the corn is going off. They've got nobody to buy them. The Canadians are selling all their natural gas and their oil now to other countries, shipping that to Europe and all that. And a lot of the United States is dependent on that oil. I also saw that because of the sanctions, the Chinese have banned rare minerals to be imported into the United States. And the auto industry in the United States really bank on that rare minerals, in order to make their cars. So the auto industry is coming to a standstill in the United States as well. This is not good. These are very big job generators. And Walmart's laying off people. When the tariffs hit with China in the beginning a few months ago, Walmart executives, all these Target executives, went to Trump and said, listen, the shelves are going to be empty. So then Trump had to backpedal and go to the Chinese and try and make a deal with them. Obviously, he said that they phoned him and they had to make a deal, and it's just, unfortunately, it's bullshit. So yeah, the bad news is, unfortunately, there's not very much good leadership going on, especially in the United States. Even worse in the UK, even worse in Germany. It seems like they just want to push a war with Russia, which is the big reason why they want to take Russia out, and China and Iran and all those countries, because of the US dollar as the world reserve currency. The BRICS nations is putting a very, very serious threat on the reserve currency of the world, which is the dollar. And unfortunately, the United States just cannot have that. And that's a big part of why they need to crush Russia, and then next will be China. They already tried it with Iran. The Iranians defended themselves very, very well, and they had to backpedal. But I believe that they will try again with Iran. Anyway, I'm sorry, this is a bit of a bad first video, but I'm pretty sure I will get better as the time goes along. And I really appreciate your listening, if you're still listening, and I would appreciate it if you subscribed to this channel and for further updates. Alright, have a lovely day. Okay, this is my first video and I already messed up. I drove away and I realized that I have actually forgotten to mention the most important part. Something that just happened yesterday was that Russia officially banned WhatsApp in their country, and they are gonna have all the Russian people, the new phones are gonna be pre-installed with Russia's own messaging app. So after what happened with Israel, or with the Palestinians, not the Palestinians, with Hezbollah, when the Israelis infiltrated them, all of their pages, and put bombs in there, and it destroyed basically most of the leadership. I believe that now the Russians have learned from that. And also, if the Russians do believe, why would you want to cancel WhatsApp? It's a Western-made app that can obviously be tracked. And if they believe that there's an imminent attack coming onto the swell from the west, and there might be World War III breakout, the best way to control your population, to track your population, and maybe communicate with them is through your own controlled messaging app. So yeah, I've just had to now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna edit this into the clip that I just made, and yeah, hopefully my next videos will run a bit smoother.